talking to my mom, and I don't really know how to say this, but I don't think I can see you anymore.
That's fine. Clearly I'm not rich enough. I'm not, my family's not reputable enough. And clearly, we're just two different. I wasn't raised with the same values or traditions as some people were. And we're just too different. It's totally fine. I can't even, but before I go though, I just want you to hear a poem by my friend Hyun. It's one of my favorites, and it actually makes me think about what really matters in life. Okay, so before I start, have any of you guys been to a spoken word show before? Anyone? Alright, so for spoken word poems, you kind of interact with the audience, so if you hear something you like or identify with, feel free to snap or make noises, Yeah. Every day is celebration. I tell myself every day, claim this body. Don't forget where you come from, justify why you wrote this. What am I? Flesh and bone, the awkward bridging, a sweltering summer of no identity. I am just nameless face. I am just small girl with a mouth too big. I am just empty stage with a mic. I am not what you thought I was. So, Korean American. Let's put a label on it. I don't know what it means. I am traitor to this nation. I am traitor to that nation. I do not know the meaning of reform. I do not know the meaning of revolution. Sometimes I think if there was an uprising here or there tomorrow, I would not know who to cry for. Would I be happy to die for either or? I do not know the meaning of this skin. I do not know why here I feel like a barren declaration, why there I feel as old as my grandparents. I do not know the slang. I do not know how young people bend their bodies there. Every time I introduce myself, I am bulleted through with glances. Young and old seem to ask, where did you inherit such a wide mouth prone to bleeding? Where did you come from? I never feel clean in either place, always twisting my words, always bowing out of order. And yet, every day is celebration. Every day I write Korea. It sounds stupid, but when I was holed up in Bass in one of those depressing cubicles, trying to write this poem, I randomly remembered how Korean school every Saturday morning, I would always complain about going. Tell my parents the kids were mean. The teacher was a total know-it-all, and hide in my bed until they dragged me out. But I still remember the literature and the sheer thrill of being around people who looked like me, who ate kimchi without crinkling their noses. Looking back, I think some of the happiest moments in my life took place in that rundown church where the heaters were broken and the bathrooms were dirty. I learned so much in those small rooms. About the Japanese occupation, about poets, monks in quiet mountains, spring rains that fall on school children, cheap cotton candy, folk music and empires. There was so much voice in what I read. There were moments in these poems and stories when I would be tempted to point at a line, talking about red soil or thatched roofs, wanting to scream, I've seen that. I wanted to claim a little bit of the history for myself. To be honest, sometimes I feel like I'm fetishizing my own culture. I am conscious what others think of me. Can I fake a nationality? Can I fake something as old as generations? But the truth is, I was born there and I keep going back. Seoul is confusing. The popular culture is delightful and terrifying, and I often feel helpless. Navigating the people who look like me, but speak much faster and dress much better. Maybe you won't believe me when I say I cried in Bass in that depressing cubicle. In my mediocre Korean, I wrote this. 나도 나라가 있었으면, 나도 한 땅을 향해 어머니라고 부를 수 있었으면, 매일 밤 나는 잊지 말기를 빈다. 넌 누구랑 한국말 하니? 귀신 같은 기억이랑 할머니 할아버지 목소리 아이처럼 짚어가며 미안한 일들이 너무 많아요. 한국이 보고 싶어요. 수박, 산, 사이다, 단풍, 짜장면, 문방구, 하늘. If only I had a country too. If only I could call out mother to one country. Every night I pray not to forget. Who do you speak Korean with? With ghost-like memory, tracing grandfather and grandmother's voices like a child. I am sorry for so many things. I miss Korea. Watermelon, mountains, soda, autumn leaves, black soybean noodles, corner shops, sky. Despite the fact that I'm emotional about everything, I think I cried because I realized there's another mode of voice that is also real, that I have been ignoring for much of my life. It reminded me of childhood, small rooms and honest stories, young girl with an honest mouth, stumbling over her native tongue like a godless prophet. I am thankful I have not lost it yet. Every day is celebration. I am not sorry for being confused. As the years pass, I am slowly beginning to realize how beautiful it is to navigate the kitchen like a holy altar, balancing sesame oil and chili pepper in my palms. How beautiful it is to become lost in translation and somehow find yourself again. On one spring night in a quiet library, years from small rooms and grumpy Saturdays. How beautiful it is that we are here, willing to acknowledge the best parts of ourselves, singing and dancing and unafraid to speak. Celebration is choosing to remember. It is coming together and knowing there are no traitors, no originals. There is only voice, clear as a bell, ringing like revolution. Let us celebrate how precious an empty stage is, how ready the mic, how honest the mouth, how full the sound. Thank you.